Hello and welcome to Nelson All Over Cards. A couple weeks ago we did a new type of video called the Deck Factory video. We did it with Sneak Attack where we kind of talked about the card a little bit, built a Sneak Attack deck, and I kind of asked everyone if it was a video that y'all liked, and it seems like y'all did, and I very much enjoyed doing it. So here we go again with Quick Strike. So what we're going to do is we're going to discuss Quick Strike and then build a deck that utilizes it kind of as, you know, the main focus of the deck. Maybe not the main focus, but a very big focus of the deck. That's the idea of the Deck Factory. We're going to pick a card, kind of build around it to increase our deck building skills. So make sure you join the Discord where we do a lot of the discussion around the Deck Factory. There's a dedicated channel for that, or share your deck build in the comments down below. So let's just go ahead and dive in. Quick Strike is a 2-cost aggression event that came in Valkyrie's pack, and honestly is one of the cards that I do really enjoy building around. It's not one that I normally like to target for some of these deck factories where I don't play with a lot. I would say that I play with Quick Strike more often than a lot of the cards that I normally pick for these deck factories, but it is a card that I just so enjoy building around. It's an attack event that states that you deal damage equal to your ATK or your attack stat. So if we're looking at the pure efficiency curve, and I have a whole video with Villain Theory where we discuss the efficiency curve, we're looking at, for this 3 effective cost card, 2 cost plus the card itself, we want 6 damage out of the card. That's 2 damage per effective resources. And so now we have to ask the questions, how many heroes can we get up to 6 attack? Not very many. Now, we don't need a pure efficiency curve on every single card that we put into this deck. It is a cooperative game, but it is kind of fun to theory craft and think about how we can get that efficiency, hit the efficiency curve, or even go beyond the efficiency curve, which is what this card can do. We can go over 6 damage for the 3 effective resource, and that's why I like building it so much. Almost every single build that we're going to be running with Quick Strike is going to want to run ways to increase the attack stat. Easiest way to do that is probably combat training, also in aggression, just gives you +1 attack. So now both your basic attacks as well as Quick Strike are doing extra damage. There are a couple other ways that we can play with and get this a little bit higher. We have specialized training now, which is a new player side scheme. It's in the basic aspect. You can go grab the combat specialist upgrade. That gives you +1 attack, and also you get to draw a card every single time you make a basic attack. Or I guess the first time, because you do have to exhaust the card. But since we are trying to utilize our ATK stat, this is something that is going to just benefit us for what we already want to be doing. Another card in red is Fluid Motion. It is a little bit harder to trigger the benefit from Fluid Motion because Fluid Motion increases your attack stat after you've played a attack event. And so you have to have another attack event in your hand in order to play it to trigger that benefit, then to play Quick Strike. And so it can be a little clunky. You don't get the benefit of the Fluid Motion for the Quick Strike itself. So that can be a little hard to get all those stars to align. And then the last one that I kind of wanted to highlight is like Brute Force works, kind of. Because it gives you a +1 attack, it gives your basic attacks piercing. However, you do have to discard it after you make a basic attack. So Quick Strike is not a basic attack. So you can get the additional benefit, but if you are running this kind of strategy where we're trying to pump up our attack stat, it feels bad not to use it on the basic activation with Brute Force. So there is kind of, I don't know, that's to be considered, but it is a way to increase your attack stat and get a little bit more efficiency out of Quick Strike. Any cards in your hero kit can increase the attack stat are all really good. The other nice thing about Quick Strike is that if we're spending a lot of resources and dedication increasing that attack stat, if we are exhausted from the enemy phase, or if we just want to be able to use that attack stat multiple times, Quick Strike allows us to do that. And so it doesn't require the basic activation. If you are running a solo game, maybe you need to thwart because things got out of control in the villain phase, but you still have this Quick Strike to come in and help utilize the big attack that you have. So there's a lot of considerations when we're building around Quick Strike, and that's one of the reasons why I like it so much. Let's talk about some heroes that we may consider. Probably easiest to start with the heroes that can or have a 3 attack stat to begin with. That puts us about halfway to the efficiency that we're looking for with Quick Strike. So I'm thinking like Hulk, She-Hulk, Phoenix, X-23 can get there with their claws, Thor gets there pretty easily. Drax is really fun with this because his attack can get crazy high. But the hero that I decided to settle on is Ant-Man, because he's got a couple of tricks in his own kit to increase his attack. So let's hop down to the table and take a look at Not So Quantum Man. So yeah, the Ant-Man Quick Strike deck is going to be a lot of fun. I've played a variation of this deck a couple of times. We've gotten a couple new toys since those variations have been played, which makes it even more exciting. But the Ant-Man Quick Strike deck. So we're going to be running 3 copies of Quick Strike. Let's see how we can make this pretty. 3 copies of Quick Strike, and we're probably going to want to be doing this when he is in Giant form, here with the 3 attack stat. So Giant form Ant-Man with the Quick Strike, dealing damage minimum 3 here. But we're going to pump that attack up. We have combat training, which is going to take him to a 4 attack. So now Quick Strike is doing 4 damage for the 3 effective resource. Still not exactly where we want him to be. So we're going to bring along specialized training with the combat specialist ability, or the combat specialist upgrade here, which takes him up to a 5 attack. Specialized training will be fairly easily to thwart down with Ant-Man, especially if you're running this solo. I think that this probably, again, is going to work mostly, or the best in a multiplayer setting, just because there's going to be a stupid amount of damage, and before you can get it all set up, you could probably win in a solo game regardless. I'm going to try it as a solo deck, but we'll have fun with it. So that's the 5 attack there, and then Ant-Man has this card called Giant Strength. He has 2 copies of this upgrade that says whenever you change into giant form, you get to get +1 attack. So once we have both of these upgrades on the table, when we flip into Ant-Man, we're going to have 3, 4, 5, 7 damage, therefore exceeding the efficiency curve that we're looking for with this 3 effective cost Quick Strike. If we get super lucky, we have 2 resizes, and so there is a world in which we can trigger Giant Strength twice, taking us up to a 9 attack. However, that's going to be not the most consistent to hit, but I wanted to talk about it because it sounds way too much fun. Now, even though I said probably not the best thing to do is to be running Fluid Motions, we're going to be running 2 Fluid Motions, mainly because this is maybe not the most efficient deck, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to be running Fluid Motions, and with a couple of cheaper events, Surprise Attack, 1 by 1, and then we have the attacks in Ant-Man's kit, but these are going to be the ones that are going to be triggerable, and so that's could get us up to a 9, or if we hit this double resize, 11 for that Quick Strike. We're not running Brute Force because that was just too much. However, we do have some more things that this deck revolves around. We can use Quick Strike, we can attack, we can get both of those off. That's a lot of damage, but if we're wanting even more and we want to utilize this even more, we're going to run 3 copies of Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is a card that states exhaust an Avenger character you control to ready another Avenger character you control. And then we're going to be looking at our Avenger allies here. Make sure that we have room for all of them. We're going to be running a gambit of Avenger allies. Now, these can be either chump blockers, or most likely we're going to be utilizing them for Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So now we can exhaust Blade, ready Ant-Man, and swing for that 7, 9, 11 again. So that is kind of the way that we can utilize Ant-Man's strength, his giant strength, plus his 3 attack stat with Quick Strike all together, kind of multiple times. Quick Strike, basic, Earth's Mightiest Heroes to keep going. We also have 2 copies of Ready to Rumble. I'm going to put those right there. I'm already kind of running out of room, but since Ant-Man is going to be flipping a lot, which means that we can trigger Surprise Attack very easily, Ready to Rumble is another card that says that after you change your form, discard Ready to Rumble to ready your hero. So if we flip down, we can ready our hero, and then if we have this, the perfect resize turn, we can do it even more frequently. Maybe not going to happen, but it's also just really nice because we can trigger this really easily in Ant-Man. Because we're relying on his basics, it will find use. We've got a build support, which will probably grab either Quinn Carrier or Team Building Exercise. Because Ant-Man's an Avenger, we can use TBE to discount all of our allies, but also so many of our cards are either tiny and or giant, which means that we can use Team Building Exercise to play a lot of his events in his kit. And then finally, we've got, do we have enough room here? Superpower training. We'll scoot everything up just a little bit. Superpower training, which is going to be a way to help find Ant-Man's helmet, which if you've played Ant-Man, you know how critical it is to his overall kit, because whenever you're changing forms, you're getting to trigger and either draw cards, heal damage. Incredible upgrade there. Ant-Man's helmet, this just helps us find it quicker. We're going to top it off with our doubles, and that is Ant-Man Not So Quantum Man, because we're doing big damage and not small quantum damage. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so very much for hanging out. Let me know what your favorite thing about Quick Strike is, and make sure to share your decks either in the Discord or in the comments below, because I do really enjoy seeing and just experiencing the creativity that is prevalent in this community when it comes to deck building. I appreciate y'all. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you around. Peace.